want to do? You want to scroll because my face is not familiar or what? I don't understand. Should I calm down? Calm down. Please don't scroll. I'm actually being nice, or should I say polite, but please don't scroll, okay? Calm down. I know you don't know me. I don't know you too. But here, I have 10 minutes of life-changing advice for you, and you better listen because I want you to have a great life. I don't even know you. I feel like I'm the nicest person in the world because I don't know you, but I still want you to have a great life. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay, I'm just joking. Hi, my name is Joy Unscripted, and I'm a storyteller who has an ambitious drive for growth and personal development. And you will always find me at the intersection of storytelling. I tell stories about my life and lessons that I have learned from it. You get? So if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please do well to do what every newbie does. They subscribe. Don't be the weird one. Subscribe. Click that button. Thank you. I don't know, sorry. If you are pissed off or offended, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be creative. I mean, I don't know. But please, click that button. Click the subscribe button. It's over there. There. Thank you. Thank you. Now sit down. You're not going anywhere. Don't scroll. If you scroll. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into the video of today. When I was a teenager, I can't remember the exact age, I burnt my first book. The one book that I thought was the best thing that had ever come out of me. I burnt it, literally. So what happened? I remember being on school break and I was idle at home. I was a child then. I can't remember the exact age. I'm sorry, I didn't record this thing to my brain, right? But I remember I was a child and we were on school break. And I was idle. Not to say an idle man is devil's workshop, right? I think that was only for me that particular day. I feel like God used me in the right way, right? So because I was idle, I wanted to write. So I went around the house looking for a book that I could, use to pen down my thoughts. So I started writing poetry and some motivational stuffs here and there in the book, right? And then eventually I named the book, This Book is for Everybody. I'm sorry, I know it's so childish, but it's the truth. I named the book, This Book is for Everybody, right? So I showed it to my mom, and my mom was like, oh my gosh, this poetry is so nice. Like, what a typical mother would do. She was encouraging me, right? So for the next few days, few weeks, and even years, I'll go on to build my poetry collection. I'll go on to write more stuffs in that book. And the book was getting fatter, like the pages were getting fatter by day, you get. And suddenly I became a teenager. Yay! And that was when I became fully aware of the world around me. So what did I do? A particular day came and we were sorting out books that we wanted to get burnt in our study room. And I just remember thinking to myself, I don't think anybody would like to read this book. I mean, I don't know, but I just don't feel it's good enough. And yeah, whatever that is in your mind, that's what happened. I picked the book and I added it to the books that were to get burnt. And that night, we burnt everything, including the book. So my first ever book is burnt. Yeah, I burnt my first book. And it's crazy to think because I had just entered teenagehood, and that was when I became more aware of my environment, more aware of the world around me. And that was when I knew that, there was something called criticism, that if something is not good enough, people will criticize it. And so, yeah, I burnt my first book because of fear of criticism. So this video is not solely about fear of criticism. This video is about fear as a topic. Now, there are many forms of fear. We have fear of criticism, we have fear of failure, we have fear of success. Whatever you're thinking, some people are scared of greatness. That's how bad it is. And there's so many forms to fear, right? But regardless of its forms, regardless of its classification, fear exists. And because it exists, a lot of people are not actualizing their potential. They are not achieving greatness. They are not fulfilling their dreams because of this word, fear. Now, fear is deeper than we think. I know many times whenever you think of fear, you think of, oh, someone is chasing you with a knife or this or, but you know that so many people are living every day on fear. I have a lot to unpack in this topic. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. So many people are living every second, every minute, every hour, every penny of their time on fear, their time on earth. I mean, you have a short time on this earth, but every second is you're living it in fear. I don't even know. That's the worst thing. You don't even know you've been living in fear. That was the same thing for me. I didn't know I was living in fear when I burnt my book. Because what made me to burn the book? Fear of criticism. I felt it was not good enough and people would criticize it and do other stuff. They wouldn't want to read it. So I burnt the book, right? And I didn't even know that I had this fear of criticism in me. And I didn't know for years to come. So many other things came up. So many other things that I should have done, dreams that I wanted came, and I just let it slip by my hands because I was afraid. I was scared. Sometimes I was scared of failure. Sometimes I was scared of my own success. Like, you know that if you do this thing, you're gonna hammer. Or sometimes, like, you know that if you do this thing, you're literally going to be like, you get what I mean? Like, you're literally going to be great. But because you're scared of greatness, you just don't do it. Intentionally, just don't do it. You know, like, you are capable. Like, probably it's your talent. You know that I can sing, And if I just open mic one day and say, let me record song, you know that song will blow. But because you're scared of, oh my gosh, then people will start listening to my song. I will not be out there. I will not become a millionaire. Then they will be calling me here. I will be singing in front of thousands of people. I will meet celebrities. Oh my God. And then everything is becoming overwhelming for you. And then, you know what? I'm not going to pick up the mic. I'm not going to sing. And then you kill that talent. You intentionally kill it. Because you're living in fear of success. You know you are going to succeed in this thing if you do it, but you intentionally don't do it. So there's so many forms to this fear. But back to where I was heading to, right? So I was living in fear for like almost all my teenage years. That was how bad it was. Like, I was just living in fear. And when I mean I'm living in fear, I don't mean every time I'm trembling. No, it's internalized. Yeah, it's internalized fear. So many times I would procrastinate doing things because I was scared of doing that thing. Oh, you didn't know procrastination is an illusion of fear. You had it from me first. Think about it. Sit with yourself. So many times you've procrastinated doing something. Why? Think about it. Why? Why don't you want to do this thing? Because you're scared of doing it. You're scared of the process. Probably in your mind you feel like the process is going to be so tasking or daunting and you just don't do it. Okay, medical students in the room, say hi. So you know that topic that you were in class, the lecturer was teaching, you are not understanding anything, and then you guys will be like, when I go home I'll study it, and then you open the material and I've seen a lot of complicated stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, and then your heart starts beating. Next thing, close the book, open your phone, go to TikTok, scroll for hours. Your mind is still rocking behind the book, but like, let me just scroll one more time. Maybe I may feel motivated. You keep deceiving yourself. Oh, I'm not motivated. It's not motivation. Motivation has nothing to do with this. You're scared. You're scared of the book. You're scared of the topic. You just don't want to face it. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Thank you. So you realize that we have been living in fear all our lives, right? And that was the same thing for me until I think 2 years ago. So I was taking a personal development course, or should I say assessment, and they asked us some questions that we were expected to answer ourselves. Like, we were meant to, like, it's more like a retreat, just be introspective about your life, answer these questions as honestly as you can. Nobody's going to beat you if you don't get it, if you don't answer to the best of your ability, right? So I remember that day I just locked myself in a room and I was answering these questions. These questions were like life questions, right? And just that moment I realized that I'm a very fearful person. Like, all my life, I have literally been living in fear, and I didn't know. I realized that I had fear. Okay, I have my diary here. I'll read it out for you guys. Okay, the part I want you guys to know about. Okay, so I'll read it out for you guys. Okay, sorry, my diary is here with me. I'm just going to read out the part I want you guys to know about because we're getting real here, right? So I wrote down, I realized that I had fear of failure, I had fear of criticism, I had fear of not being good enough, I had fear of taking risks, I had fear of what people say, I had fear of making decisions, I had fear of success. Yeah, success. I had a lot of fears, and everything I did was lurking around those fears. So I only did things that I was comfortable with, and I felt things that I felt, okay, it won't bring me too much success, it will also not bring me failure. At the same time, people won't really mind talking about it. And again, I was doing things that, okay, it's okay, let's just do this one, like it's made. I mean, nothing much will come out of it. There'll be no too much criticism, no too much failure, no too much success. It's just going to be just there. And all my life, everything revolved around it. But here's what I didn't know. Greatness can never be birthed in that condition. You have to do that. Greatness can never be birthed in that condition. And I'm not saying that great people have never been afraid. They have never had their own fears. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that greatness can only be birthed in the courage to move despite the lurking fear. I'll say it again. Greatness can only be birthed in the courage to move despite having fears. Do you get? So after I started with myself and I realized this, I was like, wow. So all my life, like literally all my life, I've been moving around this fear. Okay, not all my life, all my teenage years. Let's use that word, because that was when I became more aware, right? I became more aware of my environment and everything. So all my teenage years, I've been living in fear, and I never even realized. And it may even be the same thing for you. Probably grew up as a young boy or girl, and you were very courageous, very confident. You believed in your dreams, everything. But then somewhere along the line, everything changed. You became less courageous. You began to doubt yourself. You began to question everything about you. You began to question, should I really do this stuff? You started second guessing every single one of your dreams. All those dreams you had as a child, you now started second guessing it and started cutting them off. Like, oh no, this dream was too childish, let me remove it. This one too childish, so let me remove it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. You don't know those dreams are not childish. We both know that you have this fear of, can I actually actualize this dream? You have this fear of, oh my gosh, I think this dream is bigger than me. But who told you that? Who actually told you that? Now, why am I making all this whole video and everything? Here's what I have to tell you about fear. Fear is a lie. You heard me well. Fear is a lie. A bloody liar. And the next time you have that audacious dream, I want you to become a child again. I want you to keep your hopes so high. Be so optimistic about it. Carry your dreams for your head. And even when that fear is lurking at your heart, I want you to ignore it. I want you to remember that you don't define me. And I actually make the rules. You don't make the rules of my life. I make the rules. I'm in charge. Actually, God is in charge, but to go what I mean. Let's continue. The motivational spirit upon me. Let's continue. You guys, I'm so unserious, but let's continue, right? I want you to remember that this fear does not define you. Okay? Okay? So how do you move past fear of failure, fear of success, fear of criticism, fear of all the fears? It's that simple. Ignore it. You can't take it away, honestly. I feel like it's an innate feeling. You can't actually take it away, but you can ignore it. Ignore it. Like, ignore it. Okay, there's something I usually do. So whenever I want to do something and I realize that, oh my gosh, I'm actually scared of this thing I want to do, I want to do it immediately. Once I realize that I'm scared, I want to do it. And I find myself, like everything in my power, I'm going to do this thing. Because what do you mean I'm scared of this thing? I mean, I want to prove I'm a big girl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck it. So, same thing you should do. Okay? So, what did I say? Ignore the fear. And this even goes beyond ignoring fear. It also goes to acknowledging it. Because most times we don't want to acknowledge it. And because we don't want to acknowledge it, we still fall into the trap. So acknowledge the fear. Acknowledge, okay, I'm actually scared of this thing. But then sit with yourself and ask yourself, what's in this thing that I cannot do? What are like, bring a book and pen. Bring a book and pen. Write it down and say, what's actually in this thing that I can't do? What's that thing? What's the damn thing in this thing that I can't do? I want to know. I mean, do you know who I am? Do you know? I'm sorry. I'll behave. Sorry, I'll behave. But I was saying, so I want you to like bring a book and pen, sit with yourself. The first step to defeating fear is acknowledging it. So sit with a book and pen and ask yourself, what's in this thing that I cannot do? What's in this thing that is making me scared, that is making me afraid? And because I'm afraid of it, I intentionally don't want to do it, even though I want to do it. Because you want to study, but you just cannot get yourself to study. You want to build that dream or make that dream a reality, but you just cannot get yourself to do it, right? So get a book and pen, sit with yourself and ask yourself this question. So first step to defeating fear is acknowledging it. Second step is what? Sitting with yourself and asking yourself, what exactly is in this thing that is making me scared? Write it out. Write out every single thing. Every single thing. If, for instance, if you're trying to study and you can't get yourself to study, and you're like, okay, I can't get myself to study because I'm scared of this topic. Now, what is in this topic I'm scared of? Probably it has so many calculations and you're not good at calculations. Write it out. Write out everything. Probably you want to start content creation, but for some reason you can't get yourself to start it because you're scared of the whole process. You feel like it's going to be tasking and demanding. Then you sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is in this content creation I can't start? And then you realize, oh, I don't have money. I don't have money. That's why I'm scared of content creation, because I can't get myself all these fancy gadgets and blah blah blah. Write it down. Yeah. Now the third thing you want to do is ask yourself, are there any solution to these fears I've listed? Are there any solutions to it? Because last time I checked, the only thing that has no solution in this world is actually that. I don't know. I grew up hearing that saying. I don't know if it has changed. I don't know if any other problem has also defied that quote. I don't know. But last I checked, it was that was the only problem that couldn't be solved. So ask yourself, how do I solve this problem that is causing me to be afraid of this task? Okay? Now, research solutions right away. Google it. What are the solutions to these things? Okay, for instance, for the person who wants to start content creation, right? I realize, okay, I'm scared because I don't have money. I can't get the gadgets required. Ask yourself, okay, Google, how can I start content creation without the fancy gadgets? You're going to see a lot of advice. You can start with natural lighting, even if you don't have a ring light. You can position your phone, adjust it with an external support other than a tripod. You can do different things, literally. You will find out that there are actually solutions to these things that you thought was so big in your head that had no solution to it. Okay? Now, the first thing you want to do is ask yourself, why do I want to do this thing? When you know your why, you're going to be like, damn it, and I've been letting fear keep me from doing this thing. This thing I've always wanted to do all my life. Do you get? So ask yourself, why do I want to get this stuff done? Why do I actually want to have a YouTube channel? Why do I actually want to publish that book? Why do I actually want to start that stuff? When you know your why, and when you see why your why is whying enough, when you see why your why is strong enough, you're going to get past that fear and you're going to get work done. You get? So, I think we've come to the end of this video, and I have one last word for you. Look at me. Look at me. I didn't sit here for 19 minutes just to talk to someone whose life will not get changed. God forbid. We're here for impact, okay? We're here for brutal impact, okay? Now, I know that there's greatness inside of you. I know it. You know it. God knows it. Everybody knows it. Even if they don't want to admit it. I know that there's greatness inside of you, right? You know it too. Sometimes it scares you because you know what you're capable of only if you try. But I have one question for you. What will you do if you are not scared? To be very honest, what will you do if there was nothing like fear? If you are not scared, what will you do? What is that thing that you are actually going to actualize if you are not scared? I want you to look at me and at the same time think about the inner child, the younger version of you, who dreamed so much and believed so much in you. Like he said, when I grow up, I'm gonna be an astronaut. He had so much belief in the version of you he was to become. And now you've become. But then fear is holding you back from actually being who you are meant to be. Why? What is fear? Who is fear? You can do this. You can actually do it. So the next time you think about something you want to do, I don't want you to second guess yourself. I don't want you to doubt yourself. I don't want you to back out almost immediately after starting. I want you to sit with it. Sit with it and battle with it until you get it right. Until you get it done. And until your inner child is proud of you. I'm rooting for you. God is rooting for you. And your inner child is rooting for you. Please do get whatever dream, whatever goals or aspirations you have done. And don't let fear keep you or hold you back from actualizing and reaching your full potential. Like I said, I did not sit here for 21 minutes talking to a dead person. You're not dead, you're alive. So whatever I speak must work in your life. In Jesus' name. So please, don't make my whole efforts here in vain. Don't make it look like a waste. Please. Okay? So like I said, sit with yourself. The questions I asked initially, please do well to answer it. And you'll be fine. And like I said, your inner child is waiting for you to blossom into whom he has always known you will be.